Hey everyone, I want you to think back to a time when you had threw a temper tantrum, where you were so upset that you didn't want to do something that you just threw this big, huge temper tantrum. It could be as a child, or believe it or not, some adults still throw temper tantrums. What was that temper tantrum that you threw? Because right now, we're going to look at a story in Jesus' life where he had the opportunity to throw a temper tantrum. Why? Because he didn't want to do something that God was asking him to do. So I want you to see what Jesus did and how he responded. Don't forget to pause the video, read the story, and answer the questions. And then when you're done, press play and we'll go from there. As hard as this may seem to believe, Jesus' mission on earth was to die for our sins. Why? To have a relationship with God. For all of us to have a relationship with God. But the reality is, when it came down to it, Jesus was scared. He was conflicted. I mean, after all, who really wants to die? No one really wants to die. And Jesus was conflicted. But he went through with the plan. Why? Because he knew that God's plan was bigger than his. And to be honest, it came true. 3 days later, on Easter, Jesus rose from the dead. So God's plan did come true. And it gives us a good reminder for all of us, for us to remember that God's plan is bigger than yours. I am so grateful that Jesus carried through with God's original plan for him to die, because ultimately he did rise again 3 days later on Easter. And we are able to worship a God who is living, who is active in Jesus Christ. And so it's a great reminder for us that when we think we can't wait, we have to really remember God's plan is bigger than ours. And it really highlights, again, our memory verse for the month. It's Psalm 27:14, where it says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, wait for the Lord." Waiting is such a hard thing to do sometimes. But if we're patient and we wait for God to guide us each and every step of the way, we will see his ultimate plan for our lives. So that's the encouragement for you guys today, is to realize that God's plan is bigger than ours, no matter what we may think. All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Guys, next week we start a whole new month, which means a whole new theme. So I'll see you next month for the start of our new theme.